Well, good morning everybody and welcome to day 86 of lockdown. 86 was a very significant year for me because it was the year I started work as an apprentice electrician on £58 a week. So yeah, got enough reminiscing. It's quite foggy this morning. It's been raining in the night, so the ground is absolutely saturated. I'm in the fields and my trousers, bottoms of my trousers are already soaked. But you'll notice that I've not got the nick on with me this morning. And that's because last night after work I grabbed the camera, I went straight out. It was a really nice evening, perfect conditions. It was warm, sun was out, but the sky was very moody, very grey. There was thunder rumbling in the distance. It was a really nice evening and I really enjoyed going out. And I have to say, I was quite successful with the camera. And I have to say, I'm very pleased with what we managed to capture on camera. So why don't you take a look? So this is where I was stood last night, and I spotted a pigeon in this tree. And then just around here, I spotted something else. I thought, aye, what's that? And as I moved around, I noticed it was a buzzard. Now at first, I thought it was a young buzzard because it just looked a little bit different from what I've normally spotted. I've never really seen one this close up, but it turns out it was a pale face. No, it wasn't that. It was a pale phase buzzard, and as the name suggests, they're a lot paler in colour. And it sat there for ages. Let me take photos of it, and then it flew off and landed in that tree over there. So I was really pleased with that. Something else flies off, but that was a pigeon. So yeah, I was really pleased with that. and I hope you were as well. I also learnt from last night's footage that the chances of it being a young buzzard were very slim, because they're still in the nest at this particular moment. Buzzards in general, that is, not just the one in Woodpecker Wood. I did visit Woodpecker Wood and had a look at the nest, but there was no movement at all. But yeah, I've been reliably, I can't speak this morning. I was reliably informed that it was a pale-faced buzzard. I'm going to go back to bed. But I was also told that yeah, buzzards this time of year will still be in the nest. So yeah, that's something I've learnt. But yeah, during my walk I managed to get photos of the robin, which were good, butterflies, and yeah, it was just a really pleasant evening. I really enjoyed going out with the camera last night, and that's something I think I'll be doing again, because they talk about the golden hour when the lighting's perfect for photography, and it certainly was last night. Now I'm by this oak tree, and as you might be able to hear that? There's a lot of squawking going on. There's definitely a nest in that ivy somewhere. Up there somewhere. I've not seen a parent, so I don't know what nest that is. Mr. Robin or Mrs. Robin. I've been stood here a few minutes now. I've seen a wren, I've seen a robin, I've seen another really smallish bird, brown, sort of wren coloured, but with a longer tail. So I'm not sure what that is. It could be any number of birds that have the youngsters in that nest. I'm just going to go around the other side of the tree, see if I can get a better look. This whole hedgerow is absolutely teeming with bird life. And against the backdrop of the sunrise, it's quite difficult to tell what's what. They're just silhouettes. There's definitely wrens. I'm pretty sure there's long-tailed tits. There's robins. All flitting around all over the place. Especially in there. So it's really quite difficult to tell what's what. But yeah. It's just a hive of activity. I could stand here all day. A lot of you correctly commented on this and said it was the nymph of a frog hopper. And there's a little snail there as well. Just there. Yeah, the frog hopper nymph seems to like these little sort of thistles. That's an elaborate little web there, neatly woven around that plant. Wonder what that is. Good evening everybody, and welcome to day 87 of lockdown. Now then, albeit there's not much left of day 87 because it's been absolutely lashing it down today. It's about 7:30 now, and I've literally just come out because I've something I want to check up on. Now I'm going to start by telling you a tale of frustration from last night. I came out yesterday evening because the previous evening I'd seen the Buzzard not far from where I stood now, and I was wandering through the fields, and I got to where I saw the Buzzard last time, and I could hear a woodpecker going a bit mad in one of the trees. I saw some movement, so I got the camera all set up, and I moved in a bit closer, just so I could get a really good photo. And literally I was stood, I don't know, 10 metres from the tree, trying to spot the woodpecker to take a photo. And I just looked down, and in the sort of V of the tree was the Buzzard, sat there right in front of me. I'd never even spotted it. It was quite well camouflaged, but it was pretty obvious if I'd have looked. So I made a real schoolboy error, and I learnt a valuable lesson as well. I was so mad, so incidentally I didn't get a photo of it. By the time I got my camera up and set right, it had flown off into the tree in the distance where it sort of perched previous night. So I was really annoyed. So I'm back out again tonight. Hopefully it might be just over there in the same tree, and we might be able to get a photo. But it's been bad weather, so I don't know whether they like to come out in the bad weather or not. We will see. So that's where we're heading now. Just before we go though, you might be able to hear the owl in the woods. Okay, so this is where I was stood, and the Buzzard was literally sat there, and I was looking up here and I didn't even see it there. I've approached really cautiously, but I can't see it, and it's not in the tree beyond either, so looks like it's keeping dry somewhere, and I don't blame it. So whilst I was out last night with the camera, I did manage to get a couple of photos just of a few little creatures like snails and slugs, so it wasn't all wasted time. So I hope you enjoyed this episode with the footage of the pale-faced buzzard and all the other birds and wildlife. If you did, give us a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, then please hit the subscribe button just here, or the one down below. Always leave a comment, I really enjoy reading those. And don't forget to click on that bell icon so you don't miss out on my next episode. Well, the rain's just starting to come now, so I think it's time for me to head back. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.